So the spring patch for Battlefield 1 is now here. It dropped this morning, the 27th of April, and that means we've got some unlocking to do. 4 new level 10 weapon variants have been added to the game, 1 for each class, and each of them is quite the challenge to unlock. DICE clearly listened to the community regarding progression in this game, and this is just the first step towards improving that. So how do you go about unlocking these new level 10 weapon variants then? Well, the process is fairly straightforward, but they all require you to have access to the original level 10 weapon. The Hellriegel 1915 factory, the Selbstlader 1906 factory, the Hewitt automatic low weight, and the Martini Henry infantry. All of these will need to be unlocked before you can start the individual assignments to obtain the new variants. Let's start with the Assault class then. Here, the new level 10 weapon variant is the Hellriegel 1915 Defensive. This new variant comes with an optical sight in place of the iron sights, a bipod, and an extended drum magazine capacity of 120 rounds. Now that might sound a little bit crazy, but having tested this out already, it is fairly well balanced. The weapon is quite difficult to control when it's not deployed on its bipod, so using it in the same way that you'd use the factory variant is not going to work for you. At close range, you're still going to have a good SMG that you can use, but where it excels now is when that bipod is deployed. Get it set up behind some low cover, or just go prone, and this thing becomes a mid-range beast. Long range, I still think you're going to struggle a little bit due to the damage drop-off of those fairly weak rounds in this SMG, and you'd be better off going with an LMG with a bipod for longer ranges. But if you're looking to hold down a corner or a corridor, the Hellriegel Defensive is now a really, really good choice. How do you unlock it though? Well, you need 300 kills with the original Hellriegel variant, the factory, and then you need 25 kills with anti-tank mines. I'd suggest taking up this task whilst you're playing on the map Amiens. It's the perfect map for combined infantry and vehicle gameplay. Now, netting 300 kills is going to take you a little while for sure, but this map lends itself nicely to the Hellriegel's effective range. You've got lots of buildings with corridors in them, tight narrow streets where you can pick off enemies quickly, and plenty of close quarters areas where the SMGs usually shine anyway. And if you add to that fact that this map includes a network of roads that vehicles can use, and you should be able to land those 25 AT mine kills fairly quickly too. Now, the 2 stages for unlocking these new weapon variants don't need to be done in order. They will both count at the same time towards their own totals, so simply equip the Hellriegel as your primary and then the AT mines as a gadget, and you'll start progressing towards the new variant straight away. Next up, we have the Medic class, and the new level 10 weapon variant here is the Selbstlader 1906 Sniper. Now, in my opinion, this is probably the weapon that makes the most sense out of the 4 new variants, because the 1906 Factory, the original level 10 weapon for the Medic class, is already one of the most accurate weapons in the game. When picking out your targets, make sure you're standing still and firing slow, consistent shots at your enemy, and you should take them down in 3 shots. The only thing that the 1906 Factory really needed was a better optic to use the weapon against enemies who were a lot further away, and that is exactly what DICE have done. You now have a high-powered optic attached to the top of one of the most accurate weapons in the game. But it's still a challenge to use, I might add. Because you only have 5 rounds in an internal magazine, you might use 3 of those to take down an enemy, and then you're left with 2 rounds. But that's not enough unless you land headshots to get a second kill. The original 1906 Factory suffered greatly from this because it meant in reality you were unlikely to be able to take down more than 1 enemy before having to reload. It was possible to take down 2, but the likelihood of doing that was extremely low. Now, with the new Sniper variant, that slight issue of having to reload all the time becomes less pronounced, as you have a scope to use for aiming at the head of enemies. The chances of you landing headshots has increased, and therefore the likelihood of you taking down 2 enemies before having to reload is higher as well. To unlock the sniper variant, you need to score 300 kills with the original factory variant, a much harder task in my opinion than doing that with the Hellregal, and also you need to get 25 kills with rifle grenades. The best tip I can give you for doing this assignment: play the fringe medic playstyle, as I like to call it. Keep your distance from the heat of the battle, picking off players one by one around the edges. It will be a slow trek to unlocking this one for most players, I think, but the reward is a big improvement of the level 10 weapon. The third new variant coming to Battlefield 1 is in the support class. This is the Hewitt Automatic Optical. This adds an optical sight to the weapon, the same one that's been added to the Hellregal Defensive, and it also adds a foregrip for better control on the move. Now, the original level 10 weapon variant, the Hewitt Low Weight, came with a bipod, and that emphasised the weapon's role as more of a stationary one, and considering its low rate of fire, that bipod fitted perfectly. This new variant, though, is actually just as useful as the original, although it takes on a very different role. The new optical sight allows for better vision of targets at range, with less of the screen taken up when aiming down the sight, and the foregrip helps to control the weapon whilst you're moving and shooting at the same time, and that's something that the original variant really wasn't very good at. You now no longer need to play so cautiously with this gun. It's slightly more aggressive, and it's one that will allow you to compete with a lot more players out there on the battlefield. Medic rifles at range and even assault players using SMGs up close. I think you now stand a much better chance of being able to take those players down with this new variant. To unlock it, you're going to need 300 kills with the original Hewitt variant and 25 kills with limpet charges. As this is an automatic weapon, you're going to likely be able to get those 300 kills a lot quicker than you could with the medic class, and you're probably going to be on par with the Hellregal assignment, and the limpet charges again on a map like Amiens, close quarters. You can sneak up on infantry and do the old drop and run like Squid and Wheezy, or you can stick them to the side of vehicles for some multi-kills. And lastly, we have the Scout variant, the brand new Martini Henry sniper. This was a bit more of a surprise because ultimately, I think the Martini needed a marksman scope, not a sniper scope. The sweet spot for 100 damage with this weapon is between roughly 35 and 80 meters, making a sniper scope a bit overkill for that range. Beyond 80 meters, you're going to start to drop in damage potential unless you hit headshots, which can be hard to do with the Martini as it only has a bullet velocity of 400 meters a second. That's considerably lower than other rifles in the Scout class. Plenty of lead is going to be needed when aiming through this scope, plus you have to reload after every shot you fire. And it seems to me like DICE missed a little bit of a trick here with this variant. I think it would have been better to have added a marksman scope, but that might have made it extremely powerful at medium range, and perhaps that's why we're not seeing a marksman scope. But to get your hands on it, you need 300 kills with the original Martini Henry variant and 25 bayonet charge kills on top of that. Now, there's no specific tips I can really give you for this unlock, other than simply playing the Scout class as you already do, but when things get a little bit close quarters, make sure you take every opportunity to bayonet charge enemies who get too close to you. So there you go, that's how you unlock the new level 10 weapon variants in Battlefield 1. All of these are tracked within the game passively. You don't need to activate anything. You simply need to do what the assignment tells you, and it will track in the background. You'll be able to see your progress within the Customize menu. If you go into the weapons, you can go down the list and see, I don't know, the Hellregal Defensive, and you can look at the percentage on it, and then over on the right-hand side, you can see your actual progress on each of the 2 objectives, or when you're actually playing the game, the assignment will pop up on the left-hand side above the mini-map if you get a kill with the Hellregal, or you get one of your 25 kills with an AT mine. It's all tracked passively, you don't need to activate anything, just get in the game, start killing people, and eventually you'll unlock the weapons. Let me know which of the new variants you're most excited to try out down in the comments section. I'll be down there reading as many as I can, because these new variants aren't to everyone's liking, and I've seen a lot of hate already about the Hellregal Defensive. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.